Tucker Carlson is making some really interesting moves right now. I guess he's starting a new political party that is like anti-Republican and anti-Trump, apparently. And he's really coming out against Trump hard right now. Check this clip out.
Into this war following Israel. So it's like, that is the opposite of America first. That's America in the subordinate position, the female position, sorry, the bottom in this relationship.
Okay. I don't know why you had to turn this sexual, but fine.
And that's the opposite of what we thought we were getting and what they told us we were getting. It's like, it's such a betrayal that anyone attached to that is going to have a hard time reestablishing trust, even if he's a good man. And JD Vance is a good man, but I think it's hard. It's like, you know, you're part of that. I mean, how could you betrayed us? And it's the betrayal that makes it so bitter for people like me and maybe you who voted for Trump, and I campaigned for and with him. You know, it's like, really? We really believe that you were going to at least try? And in the end, it's all about cryptocurrency scams and wars for Israel?
Well, if you really thought Trump was going to try, then you're a f***ing idiot. I don't believe for a second that Tucker Carlson really thought Trump was going to do what he wanted him to do. I don't believe it for a second. You're the fool, Tucker. He knew what he was doing.
I mean, I can't believe you did that. Hiding the Epstein stuff, yelling at anyone who asked questions about the Butler shit. Are you kidding? I'm an adult. I'm from this country.
Wait, did Trump discourage people from asking about the Butler attack in Pennsylvania? I don't remember that. What's he talking about here?
Like, I own this government. I own exactly as much of the government as you do because we're both citizens. How dare you speak to me the way you work for me? Mm-hmm. Like, that's how I personally feel about it. Like, I'm outraged that someone I supported would do something like this, would betray the country and his own voters, and then to whip around and say, I'm not loyal. I'm not loyal. I am loyal. My whole life is marked by loyalty. I'm married to my high school girlfriend.
Please, dude. Yeah, you're such a traditional, loyal guy. Absolutely, Tucker.
I believe in loyalty, okay? You're disloyal. You sold out the country to a foreign nation.
That one's fair. Anyway, he's been coming at Trump for a while now, fascinatingly. I don't know if you guys remember this one. Did you see where he said that Trump is casting a witchcraft spell on people?
And Trump engenders cowardice in the people around him through intimidation. And there is a kind of quality that he has that's spellbinding. And I think it probably literally is a spell. And the effect is to weaken people around him and make them more compliant and more confused. And
a supernatural spell that Trump has learned from witches or something, right?
I've experienced this myself. You spend a day with Trump and sort of like you're in this kind of dreamland. It's like smoking hash or something. It's interesting. Very interesting.
How do you know what smoking hash is like, Tucker?
And there may be a supernatural component to it. I'm not a theologian, but it's real. And anyone who's been around him can tell you it's real. But whatever the cause, no one around him was weighing in strongly, as far as I know, on either side, for or against. But people from the outside were strongly weighing in, calling him constantly.
That's fascinating, right? Tucker is trying to make it a religious point to not support Trump. I appreciate that. Trump is a sack of shit. I don't like lying, and I feel like that's pretty overtly what Tucker is doing. I'm not even sure Tucker is a Christian, to tell you the truth. But whatever I love it when mommy and daddy are fighting. We'll put it that way. Yeah, check this clip out. This is more of Tucker coming at Donald Trump.
How does I'll just say one of the most challenging themes in the Gospels for me as an American are Jesus's prescriptions against greed, because I think that's the one thing American Christians never face. Like money is not inherently bad, but the love of it is bad.
No, money. All right, I think money is good, actually, and this idea that money is bad is a delusion granted to the poor by the rich, in my opinion. Greed is bad. Just filthy, disgusting, trillionaire levels of greed. That's evil. That is vile. But money isn't bad. I'm sorry. Just a little bit of an aside there. I felt it's important to point out. By the way, I'd appreciate it if you guys follow me on Patreon. You don't have to donate, but if you could just follow me there, it would mean a lot to me. You know, with YouTube doing everything it does and the government going down the tubes and everything else. It would mean a lot if you supported my work. And that goes for other YouTubers as well.
Famously the root of all evil. What does the gospel tell us about greed? And how is that reflected in the preaching you hear from the pulpit?
You know, one of the most beautiful things that Jesus accomplished when he conquered death was that he replanted on the earth the original relationship of man and woman to God that had disappeared at the fall. And that was a life of complete consecration, where the happiness of Adam and Eve was to be called God's friend. That was their greatest honor, the church fathers say, is to be called God's friend. And I just note that Jesus said that to his disciples at the end of his ministry. He said, I no longer call you my disciples, you're my friends. That was an incredible honor. Abraham, the great patriarch, was called the friend of God. In the New Testament, as soon as Jesus sent the Holy Spirit on the day of Pentecost, remember, he was crucified, he plundered hell, he rose again on the third day. He spent 40 days teaching us how to live in the new resurrection life and how to love people and evangelize the world. And then he ascended to heaven, right, from the Mount of Olives. I've stood on the spot in the Holy Land.
Wow, look at you.
And in front of his eyes, the eyes of his disciples, and he sat down at the right hand of God. And then as a coronation gift of his enthronement, he sent forth the Holy Spirit 10 days later on the day of Pentecost. And the whole community of Christians, 120 at that time in the upper room, became spirit bearers, something that in the Old Testament only kings were. Now this is the common patrimony of all believers, is to be able to be indwelt by the third person of the Holy Trinity, the Holy Spirit, to have the Spirit of God guiding you, such that we don't, as Christians, look for God out there. We experience God in here. He takes up his residence in baptism in the deep.
Okay, that is a colossal load of shit. But anyway, the point is, Tucker has fully turned on Donald Trump and is now blaming him for all kinds of stuff, rightfully. And I absolutely love to watch these people fight amongst each other. Glorious shit. Tucker's actually saying a lot of unusual stuff that I wouldn't have expected to hear from him. Defending Democrats on various things, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he is fully a propagandist and should not be trusted. Period. Tell me what you think in the comments.